Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. So, Leeds Villa, Elland Road, 2 o'clock Sunday. This is a bit of a preview. I'm not going to profess that I've read stats and going through all the Villa data. We did a preview on Late Night Leeds last night. So, this is just a little bit of waffle from me to tell you where my head's at, if you haven't seen Late Night Leeds, and give my thoughts ahead of the massive, massive game. It's arguably a bigger game for Farke personally than it probably is for Leeds United. Leeds have to play 38 games this season, regardless of who the manager is. But yeah, Farke may not. It's a crucial run of 4 games. We know that. It's the 4 games just seem very, very unlikely to me that he'll maintain the point per game ratio. I'll probably go with that route when I'm talking rather than saying it's highly unlikely he'll still be his manager, because we don't know really where the land lies with that. There's a massive chance that the 49ers stick with Farke regardless. He's one of the most senior footballing men in the club, if not, top of the tree. He helped with the promotion of Adam Underwood as well. He's promoted within. There ain't many people that I think who want him sacked currently. I may be wrong with that, just my opinion. I think a change is needed. I think personally, a lot more people who don't feel like that now will feel like that in the next week or two. Villa at home is the easiest of this run of 4, in my opinion. I'd love to know if you think there's an easier game in this 4, followed by City away, which is probably the hardest fixture in the Premier League, right up there, playing away at the Etihad. I know we beat them in COVID time, Stuart Dallas, with a nice assist by Alioski. Those memories are, wow, those memories in COVID, behind closed doors, jumping up and down in my living room. Great moments, but the likelihood is we ain't going to do that. And we're going to struggle to do that in any of these 4 for me. Villa, great manager, great players, great squad. They've done promotion the right way, Villa. Come up, had a couple of sticky seasons, but built year in year. Some will say, look, it's still be in the division. Those early years, a couple of dubious moments, but maintaining the division, didn't become a yo-yo club, established yourself and kicked on. Got the right players in, built the club well, got the right manager in, most importantly, which we know, regardless of the talent and the players you've got, it needs to be aligned with a manager. It's no good having a top draw manager and average players unless you're Marcelo Bielsa with Leeds United, of course. But yeah, it's what he's done with that club. He's taken from being a mid-table Premier League side to being a side who probably should be in the European conversation, should I say, whether it's Conference League or Europa League. They are good enough. They have players capable enough of playing at that level. It's a squad deep enough in terms of quality to maintain that. Who knows? But for me, they've got one of the best managers in the Premier League in Emery. I think he's one of the top paid managers too, in the top 5, and that goes to show, the mean business. And they're going to come at Elland Road. I think they've won 5 of the previous 6 games. What I will say is I think they've only scored 13 goals in the 11, conceded 10. So they don't blow teams out the water. I hope that does obviously doesn't change at Elland Road. They've got goal scorers in the side, albeit Watkins isn't showing that this season. I do think he's a very, very good player. Watkins, he seems a bit streaky at the minute, but he's going to give our centre halves a lot to think about. I'm very nervous about Emi Buendia being out of favour there. You know, for the last few seasons, been out on loan, a lot of injuries, a lot of talk coming to Leeds United. It'd be so typical of him to have a decent game and put one in top bins, which he normally does when he scores a goal. But I'm very worried about Buendia and Rodgers, to be fair, finding that pocket of space behind our midfielders, in front of our defence. There's been gaps everywhere. The synergy, the cohesion between defence and midfield has been nowhere to be seen. It's been non-existent. We need to pick up those runners, because these are midfielders that run into the box, get the shots of outside the box, can score goals from anywhere. And they're really fluid in the movement. So we need to make sure with, you know, the basics of the game, we need to do close to 10 out of 10 for me to. I always talk about trying to bridge the gap of quality. You can do that through hard work, endeavour, keeping switched on for the full 96, 97 minutes, whatever the game goes. We need to do that against Villa, because you can't just say, yeah, we've got a decent chance here because of Elland Road. That, for me, Elland Road, yeah, we've made it a bit of a fortress, and we have nullified sides better than Villa. You know, we have, you know, Newcastle, Bournemouth. We saw a really good performance against Tottenham, but Villa are no mugs, and they've got every single player for me, 1 to 11. You'd pick over our players, and I know that may seem a bit reactionary. I love some of our players. I'm a massive Rodon fan, a massive Bogle fan. You know, DCL I think's done well. Okafor looks a real talent. You know, I do love some of our Longstaff when he's been playing well. Stack, Ampadu, when they're on pomp, you know, I can see the value. I can. Right now, they're not on pomp though. They're not. And Villa are, you know, 5 wins out of 6, and they've just battered Bournemouth 4-0 at their place before the international break. So they're coming into it full of confidence, and they'll thrive playing at Elland Road. I'm very interested to see how the home crowd is. I know we'll be behind the team. We always are, but I think it'll be nervy, because it feels. It's not a must win this one, but it feels a huge game, and every game feels huge, and it's a must win or it's a must not lose. Every game feels like that a minute. I think he's got a lot of pressure because his job's on the line, but I also feel like it's a run of 4 games when the fans aren't expecting much, you know, so it's a bit of a weird one. You know, will it go toxic? Potentially if we get hammered and the performance is lacking. That's where I'm looking at more performance and points, because I don't think anyone's expecting a mass return in points for these next 4 games. Villa's probably the most likely, because you know, three home games out of 4 is brilliant. We've just played 3 away games out of 4. The caveat with that, there were easier fixtures, but they were away from home. These ones, they're at home, brilliant. We don't lose at home, and then you chuck us, you know, Villa, Chelsea, and Liverpool, and you ask us to get some points out of them, and it's a tough gig. Is that? It really is. But the way I see Leeds United potentially winning this game is, like Farke said in his press conference, getting people in and around DCL. I think DCL comes back in for Metcha. I think that was just down to a bit of an injury on DCL's part. He came on, obviously, against Forest. Metcha took his goal really well, and I want to see DCL do that. If he gets a chance in and around the box, I want him to let his feet go. He can't just be an aerial threat and linking play up, which is really good at. He needs to be taking chances when they're, you know, are provided to him. He hasn't had much in the last few weeks. When he hasn't, I can't say he hasn't missed a sitter for a fair few weeks. He hasn't had many chances, but you could argue that Metcha chance, it weren't an easy chance. You know, he had to have a go, and if you don't have a go, you don't buy a ticket. You're never going to win lottery. So I'd love to see our players, you know, take more risks and more shots from outside the box. We need that, and Metcha took his goal well. But yeah, I think DCL players. I think we need to get bodies in and around him, as Farke said. Okafor needs to be in and around him. I'd like to see Dan James start on that right. I'd love to see Willie Nonto get some minutes and sacrifice Brendan Aronson on that right hand side, let him be on the bench. And if he can get a lead at home, I can see the value of an Aronson coming on late on in the game to help see the game out with his energy levels. I get that. But I want to see us attack the game. I want to see ferociousness by Leeds United. I want to see that first 45 minutes of the season against Everton. I want to see that for close to 90 minutes. And I think we need to. I think it needs to be ferocious, pressing, but pressing with purpose, pressing when the triggers are on, and not just, you know, when you're pressing, you've got to press as a unit, not just all the spits and spats. And I want to see when we've got the ball, I want to see tempo, quick movement. I want to see us winning the ball back and quick transitions. I just want everything to have a purpose. I'm sick of possession with no purpose. They need to give us a bit more. We're at home. this is a tough gig now. But this will show us if the players still want Farke as a manager for me. We'll see it in their effort. And there's no hiding at Elland Road. We know we'll see it. There's no hiding at all at Elland Road. And Farke's got to change something, whether it's personnel, tactics, formation, just the message, maybe even just a little bit of freedom to a few players, Something's got to give it. It can't be the same side, same tactics, same expectation sent out as we had against Forest. It can't be, because we'll get slapped up, because these are miles better than Forest. And I don't want to hear that it's Elland Road, because, as much as that plays a factor to a degree, it doesn't bridge the quality of the side we're playing if the lads don't turn up on our part. We have to turn up. And anything can happen if we turn up with the right attitude. We've got to match that. We've got to match their intensity. We've got to match their work ethic and get the basics right. And if we can do that, who knows? First time on this channel I've ever predicted Leeds to lose a game. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we win and we can clap Farke and the boys off the pitch with a job well done and move on to City. But I'm going to predict a 2-0 loss for Leeds in this one. Actually pains me to say. Actually really pains me to say. I'm going to the game anyway. So we will see how it goes. If anyone's around the Peacock, an hour and a half before kickoff, gives a shout. I'll be in there with Priestley. Probably not inside, probably outside. Kicking around somewhere. But my pre-match ritual. I'll have a vlog of the game too. Well, I do my vlogs whenever I go to a game, as you know, which I enjoy doing and getting your thoughts and opinions on it too. But it's a game I don't see as winning, and I think it's the most logical reason is our form and their form, their quality against our player. They're playing against our player and their manager against our manager. Obviously, I'm not deluded to think anything can happen in football. We've beaten better sides than Villa before, but we have also been tonked by worse sides than Villa at Elland Road. We've been there, we've seen it, we've worn the t-shirt. So I'm just going to go with a logical explanation of the beaters. We're struggling to score goals. We're conceding multiple goals a game, so we lose again 2-0. I hope I'm wrong. I'm usually wrong with score predictions, as you know. So hopefully it plays in my favour. And if we do win, I'm probably going to predict a loss every week. But we will see how it goes. But thanks so much for everyone's support lately. 4K subs hit in the last couple of days. Blows my mind that anybody wants to listen to my opinion. Thank you for doing it, though. I really appreciate it. I really do. You know that anyway. I don't want to waffle any longer, keeping you from your day. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, from my family to yours. Love you to bits. Take care. Please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe. And stay tuned for a lot more content coming. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Leeds.